What if I told you that you could build a complete product landing page like this one you see on the screen right now and actually start taking payments in less than an hour? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a high converting product landing page using Google AI Studio and deploy on Netlify completely free. You will be able to add your own products, your own images, and connect it all to Stripe so people can actually buy from you. And the best part is, we will do all that without writing a single line of code or hiring an expensive developer. By the end of this video, you will have your own page where someone can land, see your product, and place an order. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing and let's jump straight in. Before we start building, first we need to figure out what we want this page to actually look like. If you already have something in mind, that's great, you can follow along with me. But if you are anything like me and design doesn't always come naturally, we can spend a few minutes looking at what's already working out there, just to get a feel for layouts and ideas. So I usually go to sites like Mobbing or Dribble.com and look for landing pages beforehand. These two sites are full of really high quality examples, but you can also search for landing pages on Google, and that alone can give you a lot to work with. The goal here is very simple. We are just collecting ideas and then using AI to build something similar. You really don't need to overthink this part. There are a couple ways I like to do this. The first one is by taking screenshots of pages I like. You can grab different sections from one or multiple websites, put them together in something like a whiteboard inside Canva, save that to your computer, and then give it to Gemini to generate a similar layout. Another way you can do this is just copying the URL of the site you like, and again, give that to Gemini to generate something with a similar structure. I actually showed both of these methods in one of my previous videos, link in the description below if you'd like to check it out. For this video, just to keep things simple, I'm going to use an image of an existing template from Dribble, the one you see on the screen right now. Just keep in mind that not all templates on Dribble have the full image of the page available like this, but in this case, we've got a full layout, which makes it perfectly to work with. So I'll just right click here and save this image to my computer. Now it's time to head over to Google AI Studio. You can sign in using your existing Gmail account. Super simple. Once you're in, go to the build section on the left hand side here, and then we need to choose the model we are going to use. There are a few options here. Models like Gemini Flash are designed to be fast and efficient, good for simple tasks, but when it comes to build something like a full landing page, we want something a bit more powerful. So for this, I'm going to use Gemini Pro. You also see an option here for custom instructions. This is where you can guide the AI, for example, setting design preferences, choosing colors, specifying frameworks. But if you are not sure what to include here, it's totally fine to leave it blank. Trust me, the results are mind-blowing anyway. For the framework, I will leave it as React, and that's pretty much it. We are good to go. Now it's time to give Gemini a prompt. Here we can go as simple as create a single product landing page using the URL below as inspiration. And here you add the URL of the site you are using as inspiration, or if you want to use an image, for example, you can say create a single product landing page using the attached image as inspiration. And honestly, that's absolutely fine to get started. Then once the page is created, you can ask Gemini to add other sections like reviews, image galleries, newsletter, basically anything you want to include on your page. In my case, I know exactly what I want, so I'll be a bit more specific. So I would say, I need you to create a single page website using the attached image as inspiration. Create a modern, clean, single product landing page for a company called Hydrify. And here I put a bit of details of the company and the product that we offer. I'll ask him to add a section for video, a section for features and benefits, and also a section for reviews. I'll also include some technical requirements, which are the use of placeholder for all images, make sure it's fully responsive, and include smooth scrolling behavior for internal links. So let's go ahead and run this. And while Gemini is working running on the background. Just keep in mind that you don't need to go this specific with your prompt. If you know exactly what you want, by all means go ahead and add as much detail as possible. But like I said earlier, even a simple prompt will give you a really solid starting point. Now, you might also see a few extra options popping up here. Google is constantly improving AI Studio, so things are changing all the time. In this case, Gemini is giving us some theme options to choose from. As you can see, they all look good. But since I already know that I want the page to look like the image I provided earlier, I'm just going to click skip for now and let Gemini continue building from that. Here's our landing page. I'll click on full screen so we can see the entire thing. We have a simple nav bar at the top. We have a hero section with a placeholder for our product image, which we'll add later. As we scroll down, we have a section talking about the app with more images. I know it looks a bit off at the moment, but that's because all the images are placeholders for now. It will get better later on once we add the real images. As we move down, we have a product video, which I'll also show you guys how to add later on. More details and images about the product. Over here, we've got options like color and size, which I did not include in my prompt, but Gemini added anyway. Just keep in mind that we can change anything we want here. We have got the price and the checkout button, which I will probably rename to buy it now later on. FAQ, a lifestyle banner, and the footer down the bottom. So overall, it's not perfect, but it's a really solid starting point. Up here, we can also preview the site on different devices. So for example, we can switch to mobile view, and if we scroll down, you can see how everything adapts nicely. We can rotate the screen to check it in landscape mode. There is also an option for tablet view if you want to test that as well. I'll switch back to the default view, and the next step is to customize everything and make this our own landing page. I usually like to start from the top and work my way down. Now, I'm not going to update the entire page here on the screen, otherwise this video will get way too long, but I will show you how to make a few key changes, and the process is exactly the same for anything else you want to modify. Just remember, we are not locked into anything. Let's say I want to change our product subheadline here. We just need to ask Gemini something like, please update the text on the hero section from, and then we have the original text, to, and then we have the new text that we want to change it to. We hit submit, and here's our new headline. Let's scroll down a bit and change this text here as well. Please change the headline on the app section from "It's a powerful bottle for your life" to "A powerful bottle for everyday life." We hit submit, and here it is. So we can pretty much go through the entire page and change or add any text we want following the same idea. The next thing I want to do is update this button right here. So I will say something like, please update the text on the buy it now button from checkout to add to cart. We hit submit, and here's our new button. I also want to change the price to, let's say, $99. Please change the price from $47 to $99. We hit submit again, and here it is. And what about if you don't like a change that you made? In that case, we can use the built-in version control system inside AI Studio. All you need to do is click on this icon right here, and you will see a snapshot of every change we've made so far. This one at the top is our current version, and just below that is the version where we changed the price from $47 to $99. Now, if you want to go back to before that change, we simply select the previous version. Then we click restore version. We give it a second, looks like it's done. If we scroll down now, you can see that the price is back to $47, but notice that the change we made to the add to cart button, it's still there. So if you make a mistake or you're not happy with a change, you can simply go back and restore a previous version. To be honest, you will use this all the time because building a website with Gemini can sometimes be a bit of a back and forth process. What I recommend is every time you make a change, keep it small and focus. Instead of asking Gemini to change 10 things at once, just do one change per prompt. That way, each version represents a single update, and if you don't like it, you can easily roll it back. Alright, what about images? At the moment, we are just using placeholders. So what we need now is somewhere to properly host our images. I've seen some people saying that's possible to host images directly inside Google AI Studio, but from my experience, those images, they don't don't always stay there long term, and you can end up with a broken website later on. So I personally recommend using a proper image hosting platform. Ideally, a paid one is more reliable long term, but if you are on the budget, you can definitely get away with something like IMGBB. So let me show you how to do that. First, we just create a free account. I'll sign in using my Google account. Once you are logged in, click on create new album. I'll name this one Hydrofly. You can add a description here if you want, and under privacy, make sure it's set to public. Then we click save changes. Now it's time to upload your images. I've created a folder on my computer with all the images I will use for this landing page. So we just need to select them all. And here, make sure to set these to don't auto delete, then click upload. Once that's done, instead of using the viewer link, switch to direct link. And these are the links we will use inside our project. You can copy all of them and save somewhere safe for now, or you can simply click on the album name, and here we have all our images. When it's time to use them, let's say this one for example, we click on this icon right here and change from viewer links to direct links. And this is the URL we will use inside AI Studio. Now back into AI Studio, and let's start by replacing the main product image in our hero section. So I'll say something like replace the main product image on the hero section with the one in the link below. Then I'll hold shift and hit enter a couple of times just so I can jump down a couple of lines without submitting the prompt. Then I head back to my image. This one is the main product image. Click on that little icon, change it to direct links and copy the link. Then we go back into AI Studio, paste the link and hit submit. And well, it's done, but to be honest, I don't think it looks good at all. So we definitely need to fix this. What about if I say the main product image is too small and looks a bit confusing with the text over? Can you change it? Let's see if Gemini can improve that. Just keep in mind that I went really simple with my prompt here, but if you know exactly what you want, just say it. And there you go. I'm actually happy with the results. I think it's much better having the image alone on the right and the text on the left. All right, let's scroll down and change one more image so you guys can get the hang of it. Let's change this one here, for example, the app dashboard, and the process is exactly the same. Replace the app dashboard image with the one in the link below. And the image, I think, is this one here. Yes, it is. We can also get the link from here. Direct link, copy, back to AI Studio, paste and submit. We wait, and there you have it. So just make sure you go along your entire page and replace all the images following the same process. What about a product video? Well, I've created one using AI, and I will show you guys how to host on YouTube. So I'm logged into my YouTube account. First, we click on create and upload a video. Then I will select the video. Here we can change the title, add a video description. We can choose a playlist if we have one. For the thumbnail, I already have an image for it. Let me select that, and here it is. Then I select no, it's not made for kids. We click next. I won't add any video elements here, but feel free to add whatever you want. Click next, next again. Here we need to change to public and click publish. Here we copy the video link, then we go back to AI Studio and ask Gemini something like embed the following YouTube video into the existing video section of the landing page. And here we paste the link, we hit submit, and just like that, the video is now embedded on our page. I'll hit play.
Your body is 60% water, but not all water is equal. Introducing Hydrofy.
And that's how simple it is to add a video on your landing page. Now, I woke up this morning to record the next section of this video, and I noticed that Google just released a brand new feature inside Google AI Studio. If you look at the top right corner, you'll now see this little pen icon here. When you click on it, you can now select any part of the page that you want to change. Say I want to add a new image right here in this section. I will just click on it, and you will notice it gets highlighted. Now, on the left side in the prompt area, it automatically knows we are talking about that specific element. So instead of trying to describe where things are, you can just say something like add this image and paste the URL of the image, and it just works. Same thing with text. If I click on how to use the parts, for example, I can change it to how it works. Hit submit. honestly, this is a total game changer. Everything that I showed you up until this point of the video, it still works. But this new update takes things to a whole new level. So yeah, I saw that this morning and I thought there's no way I'm leaving this out. Alright, so let's pretend that we've gone through the entire page and we are happy with everything. We are now ready to start selling, right? But we are still missing the most important piece, which is how do we take payments? And for that, we are going to use Stripe. The reason why I like Stripe is because it's very simple to set up and they charge per transaction, meaning you pay as you go. There is no setup fees or monthly fees, and you don't need to build a full backend just to start selling. So let me show you how to set this up. The first thing we'll do is head over to Stripe and click on Get Started. I'll sign up using my Google account, select my Gmail, verify the account, and then click Continue to create the account. Stripe will then ask a few basic questions, things like your business name and your location. Just fill those in and click Continue. Next, you'll be asked to add your website and a short description of what you offer. Don't worry too much about this. You can always update it later. We click Continue. Stripe would then recommend non-recurring payments, which is exactly what we need for this example. So we'll just click Continue again. At this point, Stripe let us know that we are working in sandbox mode. This is basically a safe environment where we can test everything without using real money. So let's click on Go to Sandbox, and here's our dashboard. Before we start testing here, we will need to complete the setup process. Stripe actually guides us through the entire process down here. So let's start by clicking on Choose how to accept payments, select shareable payment links, and click Save. Now it's time to create our product. We will add the product name, a short description, and an image. For pricing, we will keep it as one-time payment, but you can change it to recurring if needed. Then just set your price and currency. Tax will depend on your setup and your location, so I'll leave that part for you to configure based on your own circumstances. Once that's done, click Add Product. Now it's time to create our payment link. Here, we select the product we just created, and then we scroll down to select a few extra options. I will enable Collect Customer Name, Collect Business Name, and I will mark this as optional. Collect Billing and Shipping Addresses. We will need that to be able to ship out our orders, and here we enable the countries where we're going to ship our orders to. I will choose Australia and click Save, and require customer's phone number, as we will also need when creating the shipping label. If you scroll further down, also see advanced options like custom fields, promo codes. This is really good if you want to offer some additional discounts, and the call to action button, which I'll leave it as it is. On the right hand side, you can preview how your checkout page will look like, desktop view and mobile view. This is basically a ready-made checkout page that Stripe hosts for you, so you don't have to build your own. Once everything looks good, just click Create Link, and here's our payment link, which we will give it to Gemini in a second. So let's copy this and save it somewhere for now. Just before we connect Stripe to our landing page, I just want to quickly mention one important step. To complete your setup, you will eventually need to verify your business. Stripe will ask you for things like your business type, your business structure, bank account details, and some additional information. Every country is different and every business setup is different, so I won't go into the details here. Just follow the steps and submit your information when you're ready to go. The good thing is we can still use the sandbox mode and test everything without completing this step, but you won't be able to go live until your business is fully verified. Alright, it's time to connect Stripe to our landing page. First, we need to find our Add to Cart button, so let's scroll down the page, and this is the one we will work with. Here's the thing. In most websites, when we click Add to Cart, the product gets added to the cart. Then we have to open the cart and click again to proceed to the checkout. Then we fill in our details and click again to confirm the order. We can definitely do that here, but personally, I think there's just too many steps. Modern websites try to make the buying process as simple as possible. So on a single product page like this, I prefer having a few buy now buttons across the site. That way, the moment someone clicks on it, they go straight to the page where they add their details and complete the purchase. You don't want customers jumping through multiple pages. You want the whole process to feel quick and effortless. So what I'm going to do here is click on the pen icon and change this button to buy now. I'll hit submit. Then I'm going to click on it again and then use the following prompt. Link this button to this URL. And here I will paste my Stripe link. I'll hit submit. We wait and looks like it's done. Since I'm not using a cart anymore, I'll just remove this cart icon right here. Click on it, remove cart icon. Just quickly here. This is just the way I would approach it, but you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your landing page. Now it's finally time to test. Stripe gives us a test card so we can run some test payments. I will leave the card details in the description below. So I will go to full screen. Then if I click on buy now, add my shipping details, choose credit card, add the test credit card details, we hit pay, and looks like the payment went through. Now if we go back into Stripe and refresh the page, then go to transactions, we can actually see the order right here. So Stripe is basically acting as our back end, handling the payment, storing customer details, and keeping track of all the orders. We've got customer details, including the shipping details, payment status, and the amount that was paid. So personally, I would run few tests just to make sure everything is working. And once I'm happy with that, we can just go ahead and switch to live mode, and our payment setup is now complete. Now we are on the final step. Everything is ready to go, but we still need to make sure our site is live on the internet so people can actually visit and buy our product. For this, we are going to use Netlify and their free tier. Netlify lets you publish websites without setting up servers or dealing with complicated configurations. You just need to create a free account with them and you are good to go. You can simply use your Google account here if you like. I already have an account, so I'll click on login instead and I'm in. When you first sign up into Netlify, you will need to create a team, and under this team you can have multiple projects. Basically each project is a live site. My team is called websites and I have 4 projects inside of it. Once you create your team, click on add new project here. Now when it comes to deploying a site on Netlify, there are 2 main ways. The first option, and the simplest, is you can just download your entire website from Google AI Studio by clicking on code, then download. Once the file is ready, we head back into Netlify. Then we simply drag and drop the file into Netlify. Netlify would then take care of the entire deployment process for you. And as you can see, the build time was 34 seconds. Now, if we click on Open Production Deploy at the top here, we can actually see our site live. And it's as simple as that. Very quick, very straightforward, and honestly, a great option if you just want to get something live fast. The downside here is that every time you make a change inside AI Studio, you will need to download the project again and manually redeploy over the same project. We do have a more professional way to deploy our site, and it's using GitHub. But before I show you guys how to do it, I just want to quickly show you our URL. As you can see here, we've got monumental-cat-b78. We don't want that as our URL. The good thing is that we can drastically improve that by simply going into project configuration, then change project name, and here we can change to whatever we want. We hit save, and if we visit our site again, we can see a much better URL. Unfortunately, the part .netlify.app cannot be changed unless you use your own custom domain. The good news is you can actually purchase a domain directly inside Netlify. To do that, just go to domain management and click on add domain. From here, you've got 2 options. You can either buy a new domain or connect a domain you already own. Let's click on buy a new domain, for example, and here we search for something like hydrify.com.au, and if it's available, you see the price right here. Once you're happy with it, just click buy and complete the purchase. If you already have a domain, just select add a domain you already own and follow the steps to verify it. Now, let me show you how to deploy your site using GitHub. GitHub basically acts as a bridge between Google AI Studio and Netlify. The big advantage here is that everything becomes automatic, meaning every time you make a change to your website inside Google AI Studio and push those changes to GitHub, Netlify will automatically update your live website, which means you don't have to manually upload files every time. So let me show you how to do it. Back to AI Studio. At the top here, we click on share, move to the side a little bit, and then click on GitHub. From here, you will need to sign into your GitHub account. If this is your first time connecting GitHub to AI Studio, you'll be prompted to install and authorize access. Just scroll down to the bottom, click on install and authorize. If you don't have a GitHub account yet, you'll be asked to create one. You can easily sign up using your existing Google account. GitHub is completely free. Once you sign in, you'll be asked to create a repository name and a repository description. Just choose a name that clearly identifies your project so it's easy to recognize later. Then select private for the repository and finally click create GitHub repository. Now it's time to sync all the changes we made to GitHub. Here we can see a list of all the changes in the project. All we need to do is click stage and commit all changes here at the bottom. Once that's done, you'll see a message saying no change to commit. That simply means all your work has now been pushed to GitHub. So every time you make a significant change to your site, just click share again and commit your changes. Now let's deploy our site on Netlify using GitHub. We go back to the main page and here we can see the site we just deployed manually. We click on add new project again, we choose GitHub and sign into your GitHub account. I'll just continue using Google and select my account. Now we can see a list of repositories. Simply select the one you want to deploy. In my case here, Hydrofly. We click on it. Next, we choose the Netlify team. Mine is called websites. Then we choose the project name, which is the name that will appear in the site URL. Just keep in mind that we can change it later, the same way we change when we deploy the site manually. So I will enter Hydrofly. Looks like it's already taken. So let's try Hydrofly bottle. It's available. That's great. Down here at the bottom, we can leave everything else as is. If we have any environment variables, here's where we add them. We don't have any, so we just click deploy. We wait for Netlify to go through the entire deployment process and looks like it's done. Let's click on the URL and here's our page live on the internet. Now, I just want to quickly show you guys how the process of making changes to your website would look like. Back inside AI Studio, and I will make this text black, for example. Just a simple change. I'll hit submit. And okay, now we click on share, then GitHub, and down the bottom, click stage and commit changes. Once it's all done, you'll see the same message again, not changes to commit. If we go back into our live site and we refresh the page, it usually takes a few seconds, but eventually the change will reflect here as well. All right, that's it for this video. I really hope you now have a better idea of how to go from a simple concept to actually building and launching your own landing page. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And if you want to go a bit deeper, I actually have a full video series where I show you how to build and deploy a complete website for free using Google AI Studio, where I go into more details and expand on the whole thing. If you like to watch it, feel free to check part 1 right here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.